lovely Tuesday evening to celebrate some sports with you guys. Well, we're going to start out with some sports talk, and when we get people rolling in, we shall be doing the game show. We'll do a little sports trivia. Winners shall get some junk wax baseball cards. So, nothing too crazy as prizes to begin the show, but free nonetheless. So, I hope you guys enjoy this Tuesday Bold Show production. So, the first headline that we will be talking about today is going to have to be that Brian Flores on Tua calling him a terrible person. Tua basically said this man treated me like absolute garbage when they signed him. Like after they drafted him, I should say, not signed, but they drafted Tua and Brian Flores was the coach and basically dogged Tua all the time, talking about he was trash and not worth drafting, this and that, and some more stuff. He said, "Look, I'm human. This hits me in a way I wouldn't say is positive. I got to use that and say, how can I grow from that? How can I be better? Hashtag Vikings." Hopefully, the Vikings fans can see that this man is really trying to just be out here doing it. He's trying to grow. He understands you, you catch more flies with honey than hate, or whatever they say. How do you pull that? Caleb Williams on the Hard Knocks says, "I don't get nervous. What's your nervous level?" I just, on a scale 1 to 10, 0. I don't get nervous. Not since my first game of high school versus Gilma. I fumbled 2 snaps. Other than that, I came back and threw like an up and down the sideline. And other than that, like he starts talking about how he ain't basically never nervous, bro. Like since high school, this man has never been that nervous. So shout out Kevin Williams, keeping calm. That's a good way to play. When you're not thinking about it as hard, it comes to a little more natural. The flow is a little more distinct. Joseph Flacco took off on a scramble for a big game. Both teams are roaring in laughter. Blue Animus doubled over, and I can't believe it. Like just seeing Joe Flacco out here just hustling TV, teaching you you got to be keeping the guy honest. You got to make sure he's there being honest. For the Packers regarding Thursday's joint practice, every Ravens player will be riding a bike to practice. If there are enough available bikes, so fans and community members are asked to welcome the team in true Green Bay fashion. So make sure you be nice out there. And don't forget, if you want to play along in the sports trivia contest, just comment saying you want to play, and bam, we'll kick off the game for the night. Jerry on Trey Lance. Do I need to see any more from Trey Lance? Can we stop there? And the answer is yes. Yes, he's going to be on the 53. His $5 million guaranteed might have made him a roster lock anyway. Here's Jerry Jones on Trey Lance. Do I need to see more from him? Nope. Look, that's all you need to see in preseason. A little bit of decency. So we'll get this game show. First commenter will be our first contestant in the trivia game show. So if you want to play along in a game show, make sure you comment below. YouTube and YouTube TV will now feature more customizable multi-view options for NFL games. NFL Sunday Ticket is getting a major upgrade, heading into the second season of Google's seventh year, $14 billion deal for the package. Jeez, whereas this is how people wonder why they make millions. You got Google out here paying $14 billion to just the rights to even stream the game at all. Sources say rookie quarterback McKinstry avoided a significant knee injury during Sunday's preseason game. The team believes there's a good chance he's ready for week one versus the Panthers. I believe this is the tie game that we keep preaching. We keep preaching for a tie to happen week one. Dude with a beard is out here saying that this is the game. So we're gonna ride that one and see what happens. I'm not gonna put it in a parlay. He wants to even put that bad boy in a parlay. Like throw that on some easy ones, and your money's gonna be crazy. Caleb Williams threw his or he scores his first touchdown pass in this preseason last preseason game. It was a run in, so shout out to Caleb Williams for finally getting on the scoreboard, knowing what it's feeling like. Shout out to the Bears for really playing them in the preseason like this. Kind of a bold strategy, if you ask me. Kyle Shanahan on Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk. Zero updates. Nothing has changed, says guard John Felicio, who underwent knee surgery and will start the season on injured reserve. So Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams have good to go, but they lost the guard to a season-ending knee surgery. Don't forget, folks, you want to do the trivia game, all you got to do is comment. You'll be a contestant. ESPN to name Mike Greenberg host of Sunday NFL Countdown. How about that? I can dig it. Steelers have placed starting center Nate Herberg on injured reserve with a torn rotator cuff. That clears the way for second round pick Zach Frazier to start at center for the Steelers. Good way to, you know, so you win a job sometimes. Injury, best availability to get you a job on the NFL on occasions. Don't forget, you want to play the trivia game, just comment below and you'll be a contestant on the trivia game. The perfect bed frame. That looks weird. The league is actively working on getting NFL players in 2028 Olympics. Now, this will be an interesting topic for me. And I kind of wanted to touch on this earlier this week, so we'll go ahead and touch on it now. Do I think the NFL players are an automatic shoe in when we do have flag football contestants that want to say that they are first dibs? You know, this is their sport. We play flag football. Well, the quarterback that said that is holding a flat football. If that even tells you where it's at. The hardest part for this Olympic committee to decide if an NFL player is going to play in the Olympics is knowing that they got a football season coming up. Like this would be hard to squeeze in for NFL players. And do you really want your star player playing in the Olympics, risking an injury? What if he got hurt in the Olympics? How would that make you feel? Make me slightly nervous, if you don't mind me saying so myself. Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill is the latest player dealing with minor injury. He wore a removable brace on his right hand during practice today. Hill was in uniform and helmet, but I didn't spot a catch a pass. McDaniel has noted caution with many players. You make sure to keep them healthy for the season. Look, you really do not want to lose Tyreek Hill this season. It's going to be a big no-no, especially in the preseason. Tyreek Hill does a lot for that Dolphins team. Pretty rough to think about losing a guy like that preseason. You know, the NFL top 100 had him as the number one guy. So we'll see where they go with that. We'll see what happens there. You want to keep him, especially his hands. You kind of need that as a wide receiver. Hard to make big plays. We're sitting here at 16, 15 days left until the NFL 2024 season. Uh, Pretty wild to think about. We're almost there. Did you catch our preseason picks last week? We only missed two. And that's even with a wild card of being the preseason. So if you want to play the trivia game, make sure you comment. You got to comment to enter. And then we can start playing from there, folks. Is there a team talented wide receivers with little to no yet? We miss a lot of tackles. It's a lot harder to make the team. Yeah, it's a pretty strong case. If you're going to be a defensive player on an NFL team, missing tackles is a bad look. It's not exactly how you make the roster, I would say. It makes you nervous. Former Packers offensive line coach James Campen is rejoining the Packers staff in a scouting role under GM Brian Gutekunst, in which he'll be working remotely from his home in Florida. Man, talk about a dream job. Being an NFL head or NFL coach, not head coach, sorry, just a regular coach from home on a computer. Like, let me watch some tape and get it in there for you. Like, I think I could handle that one. I could get that in. Randy Jared says talking team since he's arrived in Atlanta. I mean, there's a pretty strong argument for that. I don't think that's a really close competition even. Like these guys have really put together a well quality squad there in Atlanta. I think a lot of people are undermining what they're capable of doing, what they're seeing out there. Steelers offered a contract to Ayuk for less than $28 million per year. Well, this sounds slightly light, but pretty. I mean, that's a lot of money, man. He's got to be looking for that. Everybody's looking for 30 plus now as a top tier wide receiver. And I just don't think Brandon Ayuk is so borderline right there. Like you want him, but do you really want to pay Brandon Ayuk $30 million plus? 28 obviously ain't getting it done, right? Like I think that trade would have happened if he would have took 28. 28 plus spending the money. Like you got to have a lot of confidence in Ayuk. The problem with the Steelers even making this move is you have so many questions at quarterback that it really makes you wonder, is it worth trading for a top tier wide receiver? I mean, if you want to get the most out of Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, this is going to help a lot, but is it 1,000% necessary? Mm, Make sure you leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, especially the Steelers fans out there. That's a tough judgment call. I think personally, Brandon Ayuk for 30 plus, like it's going to be a first or second type round draft, like plus draft picks. Like, I'd rather keep the draft picks and call it good personally. Adam Schefter says, here's an exchange that Kyle Shanahan had today with reporters that explains why he's not overly concerned about running back Christian McCaffrey missing the majority of camp with a calf injury. Running back Christian McCaffrey is so adamant and borderline obsessive about reps and how important reps are at practice and being out there. For him not to be out there, how does that get week one to be himself? Well, that's what's good. When you're that obsessed about everything, when you're hurt. You can't go. But when you take every rep, every walkthrough, everything you do just so deliberate and everything, when he's walking down the aisle to get married, he's probably thinking about his feet and how to do routes. And no offense to his wife on that comment, but that does make a lot of sense to me. Like, man, he breathes and sleep football. Christian McCaffrey will be all right without some preseason reps. You 49ers comments, make sure you let me know. We're missing you, King. I'd like to see what your opinion was on that one. The Raiders have activated standout offensive tackle Colton Miller from the pup list. A very good sign. But the Raiders need it. They need help on that offensive line. And that'll be a great addition to at least get the depth back at the very minimum. Former UFL quarterback A.J. Perry is signing with the Jaguars per his agent. Perry's third stint in Jacksonville is signed with the team each of the last 2 seasons. That's going to be your depth spot guy, your scout team quarterback type player. So it's always cool to see a guy get an NFL job, 3 years in a row, especially with the same franchise even. Like shout out to him and the Jags for getting that deal work done. Sure, that means a lot to him. Lamar Jackson has been waived or injured. That's right. They cut Lamar Jackson. This is not clickbait. Lamar Jackson is cut. The third-year cornerback out of Nebraska was competing a spot for secondary for Carolina's secondary. So if you didn't know, there's more than one Lamar Jackson in. This is not clickbait. He really did get cut. Shout out to Lamar Jackson for helping make this video. I hope he makes it into the next one. We'll see you on the next team or next stint. Hopefully you can make it back. But shout out Lamar Jackson. The Saints have activated tight end Juwan Johnson from the PUP list and signed veteran cornerback Jawan Williams. Shout out to Jawan Williams. Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh says he thought he heard the voices of angels when Justin Herbert returned to practice. We talked about a guy you want out there. You want to see him doing it. Shout out to Justin Herbert for being on the field. He's a lot of people question if he's a tough guy, but he really is kind of a tough guy. People forget that. I watched him play that Kansas City game. That just made it crazy to think about. Like it was tough. Wild. Wild old Justin Herbert back in practice. Shout out to Herbie. Top plays of the preseason. We'll pass on that. Tua Tagovailoa. Last year we were in a way really trying to help Tyreek get to that 2,000-yard mark. It wasn't like we weren't trying to hide that. Jalen knew we were trying to do that for Tyreek. He was like, "I'm just here to support it." Basically saying why Jalen Waddle had not as much production as Tyreek Hill, but it is what it is. And I don't think it's necessarily just because Hill was trying to get 2,000 yards. Like, if we're going to be completely honest, Tyreek Hill was going to get that yardage one way or the other. With that, we haven't had any contestants on the sports show today. So we're just going to call that the sports show news update, the highlight, the tickers, the excitement. Thanks for everybody stopping by, tuning in. And this has been your NFL update.